Welcome to the Dixie Doggers podcast. We're here to share knowledge and heritage. We hope y'all enjoy. Southern Cross. It's the best cut gear in the business. We run it on our dogs. Hit up Dave Williams at Southern Cross Cut Gear. Go to www.hogdoggear.com. If you're looking for Brahma and Brahma Cross cattle, Marc Rankin with the Rankin Ranch 38 Cattle Company, he specializes in them. He is the man for the job. He's based out of Oglethorpe County, Georgia, and you can contact him at 407-832-2077.
If you're buying or selling land, farms, or hunting property, these folks know land. Phil Wilson with UC Hunting Properties, 678-791-3483.
All right, everybody. Dixie Doggers podcast. Back to you one more time. We're finna do the damn thing. I have been harassed for the past 6 to 8 months by a bunch of these little dirt digging ass people running around with these little rat dogs, stick them in a hole, and all they keep saying is, "Get them Petersheim boys, get them Petersheim." I said, "What do you want me to do?" So Nathan has finally got a hold of the world famous Bradley Petersheim. That's the correct way to pronounce your last name, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, how are you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good tonight.
That's good. Well, like I said, we've had quite a few people ask about getting y'all on, and I guess y'all King Kamali's in these damn terriers, huh?
Yep.
Hell yeah. What all kind of dogs y'all run?
So we got I got one Jack Russell, and then I've got a couple Patterdales, and just got my first Jag Terrier.
Oh shit.
From Rob Bowles.
Yeah. Well, your life is probably screwed now. You get them Jags and they just ruin everything.
Yep.
I've had them for a long time.
I've been told that.
I've had them for a long time, and I probably always will have one at least. We don't have them. I don't hunt them like I used to. So I've actually, the last few really good dogs that I've had, I've placed them with people. I actually sent Alvin Thice one of my males. When did we take him out there? A few weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a few weeks
Of course,
ago.
Alvin will have him probably shit wrecked and dead in no time.
Yep. I heard about that one.
Yeah. He's a bad little dude. But no, man, let's give our listeners out, because we got listeners all over the world now, man. We've really grown a lot. The podcast has really picked up. We've got listeners in, I think, 50 something countries altogether, and they're very interested in what we do as far as, like the hog hunting and the cur dogs and all that stuff. But there's a lot of people that go to ground in these other countries, and it's more popular there than it is here. I actually had a guy ask me about digging, and he said, "You guys don't do that, do you?" I said, "Oh yeah." He said, "Well, I never hear nothing about it." So give us a little backstory on how you got into it. What got you into the dogs? What got you into what you're doing? Lay it out for the listeners out there.
All right. So the way I got into it was, me and my brothers have always grown up going out with my dad's terriers. He always had a couple rat terriers, fox terriers, had a Jack Russell. We went out quite a few times with those dogs, and we'd take no guns. They wouldn't. My dad and grandpa wouldn't let us take guns, so we'd just take the dogs, and we'd always come back with something out of the woods. Mm-hmm. So we've been doing it our whole lives. It just was kind of on and off. Depends on if we had a dog or not. And I ended up getting Hunter. There for a little while, we were doing tree dogs, and I had no interest in tree dogs, so I wasn't doing a whole lot of hunting. Brandon, he was the one that was doing more hunting than I was at that time. And one day, Joseph Carter called me, the mink man. Mm-hmm. He called me up and asked me if I'd want a puppy out of his female that he had, a little accident litter again. Yeah. So I said, sure, I'll take it. So I headed out there, picked him up, and raised him, and made me want to get another dog. And so I got another one, a little Patterdale, a little sweet, from Jamie Parks down there in Florida. Mm-hmm. So I got her, and after I had her for a little while, I didn't get her in the ground much. We weren't started in getting dogs in the ground, but then Joseph Carter called me again and asked me if I'd want a little Jack Russell. So I said, I talked to Brandon about it. So we ended up going 50-50 with the Jack Russell, and I've never seen a Jack Russell so good like he was. But yeah, got him, and then we started getting him in the ground, and that's what got me hooked. After that, we get him in the ground, and then now we got 6 or 7 dogs that we're gonna be putting in the ground this year, and we got some Jag Terriers that we're gonna be putting in the ground. I don't know about the Jag Terriers though. I think they're a little too hard to go in the ground because then you can't hunt them as much.
Mm-hmm.
They just get a little tore up.
Oh yeah.
But Jack Russell, he's all bay underground, and above ground he'll get in there pretty good. He don't have no back off when he's above ground.
Good deal.
But
that's what, like you said, that's more optimum of what you want
for longevity.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, when I was younger, I wanted that hard, just gamey little dog, just as hard as a rock. And I had them, and like you said, they get tore up because they don't back up. They don't have any reverse, and they take damage. I mean, that's the truth. And,
and we can't put dogs in the ground if they're tore up, because then they'll get down in there in the dirt and it gets all infected, and then they got to be laid up for even longer.
Amen. And that's one reason we kind of went to, we predominantly run hogs, and for a long time, all I did was running catch dogs. And I mean, they were just, they'd strike a hog, they'd run him down, catch him and stretch him. And of course, we were always having to work on them. They were always having to lay up for a couple of weeks. And it just got to where it's almost more trouble than it's worth. And so we've got some looser bay dogs, and we started running those now. And we still keep a couple of rough dogs to throw to them if we need to stop them. But it just works better. The longevity of the dog itself. So what kind of game do y'all run up there? First off, where are you located at?
We're in southern Michigan, kind of about 2 hours from Chicago.
Okay.
So we're not too far into Michigan.
We went to, was it Rose?
Yeah, Rose City.
Rose City.
I've never even heard of that.
It's I think say it's a small place.
There's a lot of small towns in Michigan.
Yeah, I was going to say it was a little bitty hole in the wall deal. We went up there with Mike Sapp and Jason Leonard. We went there.
Mike, I'm not sure who they are.
No, Mike. I think these guys, they probably haven't had any terriers in shit. It's been quite a few years since then, though. They used to mess with them a good bit. We went up there and just piddled around a little bit, had a good time, hunted some. What's y'all's main game that y'all run?
The main game is raccoon.
Mm-hmm.
But we also, we run, a lot of times we'll get on possum. It's just how it is around here. And I don't stop the dogs from doing it because all they do is kill the turkeys, empty the turkey eggs out. But yeah, it's about, coon is about the only thing we can hunt around here during the winter. And then in the summertime, we quit hunting coon because it goes out of season, and start hunting groundhogs all summer. That's the plan for this year anyhow.
Mm-hmm. How hard is the groundhog on a dog?
Oh, they're not really that hard at all.
Not that
bad.
I've never.
I mean, if the dog is hard, then they will be pretty hard on them. They'll cut them open pretty good.
Yeah. Because, a lot of people they might not understand what we say when we say go to ground, but that's, the dog goes in a hole after the quarry, and, you got to dig down to them, or they draw it out, one of the two.
Sometimes it can go up to 8 feet.
Yeah. So what's like? Yeah, I was going to say, tell us some of some of the hunts that you guys have been on, and what kind of shit y'all run into?
So actually, this last winter, there was my little brother had shot a fox out on the pond that when it was frozen over, and he didn't trust the ice. So he asked us as soon as we got back, he asked us if we have a dog that'll retrieve it. I'm like, well, yeah, we got like 3 or 4 of them that'll retrieve it. So we go over there. Well, the ice was strong enough to hold me, so I walked out there and grabbed it, and we took that thing back home and showed the little dogs in Cowboy. A lot of people know Cowboy. We showed him, and the next day we went out. He ended up marking a hole with the fox in it, and we were there. We didn't know what it was. We thought it, just coon, maybe a possum, because it wasn't very deep. And so we sent a little jag. Russell made it in the hole before we could send one of the jags down there, and he ended up being down there for 2 hours. And finally, we were able to start digging and got down to him, which was only like 1.5 feet, but it was almost solid all the way down because that field is hard, even if it ain't frozen. And ended up finding out it was a fox, and we got pretty excited about that because we've always wanted to dig a fox. And
Sweet.
So that was a pretty fun one. It was literally just showed Cowboy the fox, and he ended up marking the hole the next day. And I've never seen that happen with the dog before.
That's pretty good there. Yeah, that's pretty damn good there.
Now, do y'all only have red fox up there, or do y'all have any gray up there?
Just we've only seen red fox. I mean, my little brother trapped 7 of them, and he keeps seeing more, so he's just trapping them left and right. But we've yet to see a gray fox.
Wow.
Yeah. Our population, it really just depends where you're at, because we have a lot of like mountainous terrain. And so a lot of the gray fox will be there versus more like ag type stuff. Typically, if you have a lot more ag fields, pastured land, you'll start seeing more reds. But in a lot of the mountains, it's just grays.
Yeah.
Yep,
I wish we had some grays around here.
We don't see a lot of red fox anymore. It used to, and I guess it was because, just driving back and forth to work and before the city that we live in, we live on the outskirts of it, and it just kind of kept expanding. But used to, man, like on my way home from work on these little side roads and shit, I would see red fox all the time. And it's been years since I've seen one just hanging out.
Gray fox, they're not like red fox. They ain't going to get no residential areas. I've seen some red fox, like in some of the higher up neighborhoods where they're like really wooded, like ran over like on the roads and like stuff on like the outskirts of town. But like you said, inside town, you don't see near as many anymore. And the gray fox, they ain't getting near people. They ain't fooling with them.
But now, if you could choose any type of game to hunt, and let's say if you had two types of game, two different game species you could hunt, what would they be? If you had plenty of them and you could do it, no problem.
Definitely it'd be coon and fox, red fox. Those are my 2 favorite ones.
Gotcha.
Now, if we want to get into the whitetail side, I'd definitely go after whitetail before coon or fox.
Yeah, I got you. We now the coons where y'all live at, they're a lot bigger than what we have.
Yeah.
What's that? How big there are the coons versus the size of your dogs for the listeners out there?
Okay, so most of the coon that we get on now are a lot smaller because we've taken quite a few out of this area. Yeah. And so we're having to go farther and farther out to get bigger coon. But they're about 30 pounds in this area. We killed 6 of them out of a farmer's barn that were all 30 pounds or more. Not one of them was under 30 pounds. That was back when we were walking around everywhere. We had no vehicles, nothing. We walked a good half mile to get back home.
Wow, that's
with
big coons.
all 6.
Damn, yeah, y'all were toting 200 pounds of coon.
Yep.
Yeah, that's. And what is your dog weigh? Your dogs, what type? How much do they weigh?
So I got a little Gunner, which is the Jack Russell, he's about, I think last time I weighed him, he was 13 pounds, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a Patterdale now I'm getting ready to put in the hole. Me and my brother both have half sisters. They are 9 pounds. And so
Nice.
so they're tiny. They're going to be able to do cartwheels down them holes.
Yes. Yeah, if those dogs are spaniel and that small, they are really, really going to be able to fit in anywhere.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I can almost wrap my hand around her, one hand around her.
Holy shit!
I had a small black Patterdale that would fluctuate like 10, 11 pounds, and did a lot of coon killing with her. I used to check traps, and if found something in the bank along walking the creek or something, she was sure enough going to go in there and get it and drag it out. But she didn't really bay too much. I was always trying to not put her in whole situations because she was like, oh yeah, we'll fight.
Mm-hmm.
She could drown coons pretty good.
Yeah, she was really good.
She couldn't swim though. It was funny. So like if it got in deep water, like she'd be like, no, quit the coon. She'd come back to the bank. And then if the coon swam the bait, she'd go over there and get it in the water and just like hold it down, like just in the edge. And it was very interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
She would catch 250-pound boar hogs too, or bigger.
Yeah,
Oh wow!
Oh, dude,
she just did not bay anything.
Oh yeah,
so I was
I mean, when I say catch, I mean catch hard.
Just made her a trap checker.
Yeah, I had to run a brake stick on that dog. That's no shit. Her and Jigs both. I had to run brake sticks on those dogs.
Tramp was rough.
Tramp was smaller than Jigs. Jigs was a little bit bigger. Jigs was 16. He was 18 pounds when he was out of shape and extremely fat. But usually he was 16 pounds, and he was just a bad little dude. But he was pretty much just a straight hog dog, what I used him for. People thought I was crazy. I'd put him in those cutovers. Shit, we were fixing to catch something.
And he would wind one like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
We'd be walking, like road hunting him or walk hunting, and we'd be going through there. And Jigs, he'd stand up on his back legs, and he'd start doing circles, and he'd make a couple little circles, and then he'd just take off running. And I'd be like, all right, let's see how long it takes.
It take long.
Yeah, eventually, whenever he stopped, usually either heard grunting or squealing. I was like, yeah, he found one. But now, he didn't really trash on anything else. No. He liked pigs. He really liked pigs. Even though we worked him on coons and stuff, we took him hunting, and he never got on coons.
He didn't care nothing about. He
wanted a pig.
Yeah. They started him on coon though. That's how he was started.
Yeah. Now he would crack one. I know we cracked a couple checking traps with him.
Oh, and you know that we crossed him to a game dog I had, and that was a little different. Those dogs were insane.
Pretty hard dogs.
Oh, none of them made it past 16 months old.
Oh, wow.
Not a single one. All 9 of them.
Almost too hard then.
too much. That's what we used to laugh about it. Kind of, we were like, well, that's a little too much. That's as far as we need to go.
So that's one thing.
Yep.
Jags and most of those hard terriers are known for is just inventing ways to get themselves in a bind.
Well, they just killed each other mostly.
Yeah.
Like they were. I mean, if they didn't do that, then they got killed. 2 of them got killed on hogs. One of them got run over. Two other ones, I don't know how they managed to get in the position they got into. And then one guy had to shoot one of them because it was killing his other dog. And then the last 2, I came home and they were tied up and they hung on till they died. They were insane.
Wow.
Yeah, they were too much. Just too much. I've had people, they're like, man, I want to breed my Patterdale to this little game dog. I'm like, I'd be careful with some of it. It's like, I mean, usually Patterdales are good the way they are. I don't really see a need in crossing a lot of them. But I did do it before, At the same time, it's like, shit, I ain't need to do all that.
We'll be back after a quick break.
A quick thanks to supporters of the Dixie Doggers podcast. Southern Cross Cut Gear, UC Hunting Properties, Rankin Ranch 38 Cattle Company, Animal Housing Solutions, Boars N Broads, Ada Y Transport, Crockett Taxidermy and Processing.
My little brother, he's got a Jag Pack cross. That thing there, I think if he puts him on a hog, it's gonna go in there and grab it. I know Jamie's had him on hogs already.
Mm-hmm.
The guy down there in Florida.
Oh yeah.
He's had him on hogs, but I've never seen the dog on hogs, so I wouldn't know exactly how he is. But he's so hard, that dog don't stop. I mean, he'll just stand there and let the dog or the coon bite him if he's too wore out.
Mm-hmm.
If you take him out for a little while, he'll just stand there and coon's just biting him.
Damn. Yeah,
that's good dog.
Yeah, those Jag Pack crosses though, they usually turn out to be really good. I've only had a couple over the years, but I know some guys that did it consistently, and they always threw good dogs. We just live in such shitty terrain to dig stuff. It's horrible. It's all rock.
And all of our rock is sandstone on top of that. So it's shit rock. So it'll just crack and chip and break. And we have frangipans everywhere. And like
it's horrible.
And what's not sandstone is shell, and it does the same thing. It chips and breaks. Like our county, like we don't have any caves, even though we're in the mountains. We have no registered caves because nothing can stay, like can withstand the depth of it. Yeah, and they collapse all the time. like the old ones, they had collapses frequently.
Well, I don't know. I don't really know of anybody that runs any earth dogs here at all. I think there's some guys or some people way down South Alabama that do. Yeah. That, they have, I think the Border Terrier Club is out of Montgomery or Mobile maybe. I don't know.
Now then there's some more just sand. Wouldn't probably be that bad at all.
So what kind of soil do y'all have up there?
We got a lot of sand up here.
Is it?
There are some spots where it's pretty much packing gravel and you got to chop through it all. And then you got other spots where it's just sand that you just pull it out like with your hands and it just falls apart. Oh. But that's pretty much all we have around here is sand.
Now, what all kind of equipment do you guys have to have with you? And do y'all have some tracking collars for your dogs or collars?
We got we have a Bellman and Flint collar. We're planning on getting some more of those so we don't have to keep taking it off, putting on the next dog, and we can put it on our dogs and head out. But we have that collar, and a lot of people take a bunch of different shovels and stuff. A lot of times we just take a post hole digger and that's it. Yeah. If we're walk hunting, we'll just take a post hole digger and that's all we use.
Yeah. Well, if it works, I mean, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, if you got 4 or 5 guys standing there doing nothing, you might as well get down there with your hands and get busy. Mm-hmm. That's how we do it.
Yeah, that would be. So how big of a group usually goes with y'all? How many dogs do y'all take out at one time?
A lot of times we'll take sometimes 10 dogs. We don't put them all on the ground at the same time, obviously. But there has been some times where we've taken all of the dogs and just turn them loose just so they can run after a little while of them being in the kennels and going nuts. But, yeah, we normally take, when we go digging, all the small dogs go with puppies, adults, whatever, just in case we run into a situation where we can train some pups or have to use an older dog or whatever. But, yeah, I normally take a Hunter with me, my lurcher, and Brandon will take his Malinois. Occasionally I'll take mine to check holes. They're really good at checking holes. Cowboy, he's the best at it. He'll find game where most dogs wouldn't even know it was even there.
There you go.
Seems like it. But
yeah, that's pretty cool there. Now, did y'all know Nick Fox pretty good, don't you?
Yeah. Yep. We've hunted with him quite a bit.
I got you. Yeah, I know Nick pretty good. He went once he got into him, man. He got into him deep,
Yeah.
Which I think most people that do that, they fall in love with it, man, and it becomes a way of life. That's all you can think about. And it don't matter whether you're digging or if you're running hogs or if you're running coon or mountain lion or whatever. I think it's just the whole thing of hunting with dogs it really can get ingrained in your soul. And
it can, yeah, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. So you guys, what kind of, do y'all have any weird kind of laws and regulations where y'all live at?
We
as
have
far
some
as
weird
dogs
ones.
and stuff?
Yeah, there's some nice ones, and then there's a bunch of stupid ones.
Yeah.
One of the nice ones is if the dog goes on somebody else's property, you don't need permission from the homeowner. Obviously, we still go make sure they know we're going to be on the property so they don't start shooting at us.
Yeah.
So we let them know. A lot of times we'll be met at the door with the 12 gauge or whatever they got next to the door. But, well, normally about 2, 3 in the morning, we're knocking on someone's door. They're like, "What the heck is going on out here?"
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we let them know we're out there. And then we can just go out there and get the dog. If they say we can't go out there, we tell them that we have the legal right to go get our dog. We're going to go get our dog and get out of here. We don't take no guns, nothing on the property.
Yeah.
That all stays at the truck.
Yeah, I mean that's about the best way to do it.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's
we're
good.
legally, or it's actually illegal to take a gun with you onto the property.
Yeah, to retrieve your dog. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that's pretty cool there because, like, we've got a bunch of weird laws and the way that they're worded and stated, but generally everybody's pretty cool with it, especially if you go and ask.
Yeah.
There's always an asshole here and there, but that's anywhere you go.
Yep.
We sadly don't have the legal right to.
I'm still gonna go get my dog. But
oh yeah.
Regardless, I might not come through the front gate, but I'm coming to get my dog.
That's exactly how we are.
If I come and ask, and I'm being polite, kosher about it, then. But I also we try to do everything we can do to stop the dog from even getting off the property if we can. But sometimes, I mean, it just they're dogs. They take off.
Yep.
A
lot of times, for me, I don't even run I don't run no Garmin system on my dogs most of the time because normally they'll listen. Occasionally they won't listen. They'll just book it.
Yeah.
Especially when they're on some game.
Yeah, if they're running game, I mean, it's typically hard to call about any dog off if they're worth the shit. They shouldn't. Yep. They shouldn't be able to be called off. I've got young dogs. I know you ain't calling them off no matter what you're doing. But as they get older, sometimes we get to where we can call them off a little better.
Yeah.
Especially ones that are rough. Like they want to put teeth on it so bad, they ain't quitting. Some of the more looser bay dog style dogs, Nate's got a couple. They can be down there baying. You can call them and tell them go get in the truck, and they just go get in the truck.
We can be about 200 yards away from the truck, and I can tell my Malinois to load up, and she heads right for the truck. She don't care about nothing that's on her way there. She knows she's supposed to go right to the truck. Yeah,
that's good. That's another good question there. How important is handle out there in the field with what you guys are doing? So, I mean, you got to have. So
with the terriers, you really don't have to have a good handle.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I love having a handle on a dog. I'd rather have a handle on a dog than a dog that's just going to go nuts. But we don't really need one on our terriers because they just go literally from the box to the hole. Yeah. We'll still occasionally put a Garmin on them and stuff. They all know what a Garmin is before we even go out. But most of my dogs, they got a pretty good handle before they hit the woods. I like to do all the obedience work before I hit the woods. And then that way when I get out there, they know what to do.
Yeah, that's pretty slick there because like me, myself, I guess it depends on the dog. Some of them I mess with them a little more at home. And then there's some of them I wait till they're actually starting to hunt. And then I'll start messing with more obedience. And that's just me though.
Yeah. A lot of times once a dog's so wound up and hyped up, it's probably just going to irritate you more trying to get it to calm down and listen. versus just waiting till it's a little older. You can take it out, let it run around, and it's not going to put itself in a bad situation, or let it, in our scenario, bay a pig and or get a coon or whatever, and kind of let them work some of that energy off. And then you can do like the obedience kind of after they get their work out of them, and it kind of incorporates it that way with some of the higher strung ones. Because if they're calm, then it ain't real bad, but not all of them are calm.
No.
I think it's just a fucking, it's irrefutable waste of time to spend hour after hour after hour, weeks upon weeks, every evening or 2 or 3 days a week, getting a great handle on this dog, and then the son of a bitch don't hunt.
Yep.
I mean, why did you do all that?
Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, and look, I've been there. I've done that too. I've done both ways, and I've got to the point where it's like, as far as the hunting dog, how much of a handle do I actually need on it? You know, it's like it needs to hunt. That's the most important thing for us. And so, you know,
I got quite a few dogs that I didn't do near as much as I did with most some of mine. I got some that Hunter, he's in the house, so I wanted him to listen real good before I take him out.
Well,
he turned out to be the best dog I've ever seen kill a coon. I mean, I've never seen a dog do what he does to kill coon.
Damn. That's good. That's what I'm saying. It works for some people. It works so much better. But that's why I was saying that was just a personal thing for me. It's like, man, I have put in time, and then the dog just not be worth the damn. I'm like, damn, did all that for nothing.
Yep.
You know,
I did that not too long ago. I did that, and it was pretty annoying, because I was like, well, there goes all that time wasted. I could have been doing other stuff, maybe even hunting.
Yep. And I think it gets to the point with some people where they keep that dog instead of moving on or culling it or doing whatever, that they'll keep that dog because they have that much time invested in it. And they'll keep messing with it. And I'm like, man, it's just move on, get another one, just keep rolling.
I just called that one. I was like, I ain't even going to mess with this one. It ain't worth anything. I ain't going to look for another home for it, because then it's just going to end up in a pet home and probably end up breeding more mutts.
Yep.
So I just called it.
To me, it's a fine line with a lot of that, because there's some dogs that you can send to people for pets and it'll be fine. It'll be okay. Yep. But then the majority, I feel, will not be okay.
Yeah.
Because
one was.
Go ahead.
This one was too big to be in the house. She was staghound. What was she? Staghound Drawhard cross.
Yeah.
And so I don't think she would have been. And she didn't care about your space. She didn't give two craps about it. She'd get right up in your face, smack you with her tail all the time, and it was just annoying. So I didn't. Yeah. After all that work I did put into her, I said, well, this is enough.
Yeah, I think that also that will reflect on what kind of dogs you're running now. You'll have better dogs in the end.
Yep.
I firmly believe that. Like I said, I get it. I know some people that, they put that much time in it and they're like, man, I just don't, I don't want to get rid of the dog, but man, if you want to have good dogs, you have to cull.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
I agree.
All of them are not going to be superstars. I don't think there's any breed that's foolproof. And I could be wrong. Yeah, that's just my personal opinion. I've had a lot of different breeds, and they got bad ones in all of them.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you how many dogs that Brandon would hunt, my brother, and he'd just get them from his buddies or somebody just give him a dog. And at that time, he was going through dogs left and right.
So what's the next step for you guys? I mean, where y'all, you said y'all got the Jag Terriers now, so are y'all looking?
Oh, you mean the Patterdale Terriers is what we just got. I've only got, I got, Gunner's going to be leaving this spring sometime with Jack Russell. He's going to be leaving to get to breed a female.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're gonna work all the patterdales we've got. We got 4 or 5 of them to get started in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our next step, is getting those started. But they came from Florida up to here, and then it got extremely cold, and so we couldn't keep them outside. You keep them outside for too long and they'll get skinny real quick.
Yeah.
To the point where they can't be out there. So I just kept them in the house all the time, and finally just finished my terrier boxes. So I'll be putting those out there, and they're all insulated and everything. And so those will be nice, being able to get them out of the house.
Yeah, that'd be good. I bet it was a big shock for them dogs to come from Florida all the way up there, because we've had a pretty tough winter.
Yeah, it's been a pretty tough one.
I bet it's been a lot worse for you. I mean,
yeah,
we had. How much snow y'all get this year already?
Well, I don't know how much we got, but there was pretty white all January. I think there was only like one time that it melted off, and I mean we had a lot of snow, and I'm surprised we didn't have any days off at work with some of them snowstorms, rainstorms, ice storms, whatever. But we still worked through all of it.
Wow. What kind of work you do?
I work in the RV factories.
Okay, I got you.
As of right now, I want to get out of them and start hauling dogs, but I got to get my trailer around first.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, we've had a pretty good winter here compared to a lot of them. Last year we had a couple of weeks that were just really, really cold. Had a little bit of ice and stuff, but this year we've had shit, like you said, all of January pretty much was wintertime. You know, we had several, I don't know, we probably had a couple of weeks there that we had snow on the ground, and we never have it like that much.
No, typically not.
Mm.
Typically it might stay one day and then melt literally the next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've had it where it was on the ground for 4 or 5 days, and that's huge for us.
Yeah.
So, and we never get to hunt in the snow, and our dogs, most of them, they have no idea what to do.
They're like, what the heck is this stuff?
Yeah, they're playing. They're literally running around playing in the snow.
Yep. That's how them patterdales did when we first got them up here. They played in the snow, but they went from, I think it was like 70, 80 degrees down there when we picked them up, and came up here and it was in the 30s. So it got cold pretty quick on them.
Yeah, that's a big difference there.
Yep.
I know on ours, what do y'all do to keep your dogs in good shape, good health during those hard winter months like that? Because I know you guys have got to have some tips and some little tricks that y'all do to keep the dogs up.
Well, this winter when it got in the negative, it was negative 20 or something, like negative 22, I think was the coldest it got. For 3 days straight, it was like cold like that. And so I ended up bringing all my dogs inside because I didn't have the best boxes. I mean, some of them sleep in barrels with full of straw. Mm-hmm. So I brought all the dogs in the porch, and the porch has walls all the way around, kept the fire going, and kept them on the patio till it warmed up a little bit. About 4 days later, I finally got them back out there, cleaned it all up, and during the harder, like that time of month, I make sure I put warm water in their food, let it soak for a little while. Then I can feed them. Just to keep their bellies full at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure they're drinking water, because they won't drink water as quick if they don't have to leave the box. That's
ours, man. It's the worst. That's one of the biggest things we deal with is the dehydration. Dogs, they just don't want to drink the water. Like you said, when it gets that cold, they stay in that box, and it's tough. So we float the food as well. And we've been doing that here. We do it. We make like a little broth. Like we kill all those hogs, and then we'll take, the scraps and stuff like that. We'll put them in a big pot. We'll boil them up, and then we'll just take that and put over the kibble.
Yeah, like a 20-gallon cauldron.
Yeah.
Yep, that's some of the best filler for them.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And like I was talking about it yesterday. I done like a little video, and I was like, you're putting the fat in there because, like I said, because we're using pork, and a lot of it's already. Everybody down here feeds corn, so they're on corn feeders all the time. So it's got a good bit of fat in it, and then you're putting that warm broth over the kibble. It brings that moisture content up because, like the kibble that we're feeding it doesn't have a huge moisture content in it. And I've noticed that the dogs, when we feed like that, after we float the food, they're not using the bathroom near as much.
Yeah.
Like they're holding more. You know what I mean? Like they're holding better.
Yep. Yeah, I noticed for my dogs. So my little brother's got their dogs right in the kennel, in the same section of kennels that I have mine right now. They're getting ready to put up some more kennels for themselves. But their dogs, I noticed that they don't feed the stuff I feed all the time. Occasionally, they'll go to Dollar General, pick up a bag of dog food because they run out. They can't make it down to go get dog food, so they'll just go pick it up. And when they feed them that stuff, they shit a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more than my dogs do.
Oh, I guarantee you, it's probably a mess too. We've been in that
Oh,
situation. Yeah. We've changed feeds before, and some of it is no problem, but generally it's a damn mess. And I don't like to change feed at all if I can help it.
Yep, me neither.
I'd rather not feed dog food. If I can help it.
Hunter, he grew up on what the mink man calls mink food.
Yeah.
I fed him. It's just ground up beaver, muskrat, chicken, ducks, pretty much any kind of game that a mink would eat, or dogs. I grind it all up, bones and all go through the grinder, and that's what he grew up on. He had the nicest coat, and since I quit feeding him that, started feeding him dog food, his coat doesn't shine like it used to.
Really? Huh. That's pretty cool.
But another thing is, when I was feeding him that, he was still missing stuff in his diet because he'd eat grass a lot more. Now that I feed dog food, he don't. So what I'm going to do is feed both of them at the same time, feed dog food and mink food.
Yeah. That sounds like a good deal there.
Yeah, I've had pretty good success with feeding my dogs meat, sweet potatoes, broccoli, and rice. Cook it all, mix it all up together. Do like half meat, and then I just thirds on everything else.
When you feed broccoli, do you cook that stuff up like vegetables and stuff?
Yeah, I'll have like the broccoli florets. You can just get a bag of them at the grocery, unless you got something from the garden. Just chop it up.
Yeah.
I basically just boil it all down together and just get it where it all just kind of mash up. If it's kind of crunchy, like my Catahoula will sometimes eat it if it's crunchy, sometimes he won't. I had a Kimmerker I kept in the house for a little while, and he really liked it crunchy, but like it just made a mess eating it because like they can't, like when they crunching it, it's just like blowing up and just coming out of their mouth, so they'll make a hellacious mess in the floor. But other than that, like if you mush it all up, they can kind of just lap it up, and it's a good consistency. They won't make as much of a mess.
That's good to know.
Yeah, they. What was Mason talking? Mason, when we were talking with him, he was talking about giving the dog something if the dog was eating grass. I can't remember what he was talking about. Mate, what I want to say, it was when we were talking to him. He said that if they were still doing something they'd eat. Damn, I can't remember. I have to go back and listen to it now. But we done an episode with a guy named Mason Hoy, and he does strictly raw. And he's only got a few dogs, so and that was his point. He was like, if you've got a big yard of dogs, it's almost impossible to do it.
Yeah.
Well,
you can't get enough game to feed them,
or it costs you out the ass. It would be ridiculous.
It takes forever. Because when we do catch like 10, 15, 20 pigs, like we ain't buying dog food.
No, but I'm just saying it just takes forever though, in general.
Oh yeah, because per every 100-pound pig, you got an hour minimum, and just cutting that son bitch up.
We dressed back about I think it was 2016, 15, something like that. We ended up dressing hogs, and we were dressing them 8 minutes apiece. Had them hanging in the cooler within 8 minutes of them being shot.
Cool.
That's good.
That's
good.
I think 19 guys or something like that. 19 guys working.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were moving that weekend. We normally got together with the whole family, did a bunch of butchering.
Yeah.
That's when me and my brothers would head out in the woods and go hunt while they all do that stuff.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, what Nate's talking about is like completely deboning everything, cutting it all up to make it, it's a big process to do each one of them.
Yeah, it is.
Most people, you can't get your hands on that many hogs.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's times where we have more than we can ever use. And then there's times where we don't have any, so if we knock out 15 or 20, we need to stock it up. And plus we eat the wild pork ourselves, like I'm not going to let that shit go to waste. It's good.
I want to come back down there and get some more. We were down there at Texas Trials, and we ended up going out with Roy, and we shot some hogs, and I really want to make it down there again, bring some more home.
Well, you're welcome to come on with us. We ain't shooting nothing though.
Nope, just dogs, sticking them.
Dogs and knives. Yep. You ain't even got to use a knife. You can choke to some bitch to death. I don't care. But I mean, we ain't shooting them unless you hear me holler, shoot that son of a bitch. There's certain times where it's like, just shoot him. I don't care. But generally, it's all, dog and knife.
All we need to do is get him about 100-pound sow, let the dogs bait up, and just let him go catch it.
Yeah.
He'd be the catch dog.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fun. I was telling my dad, I was like, I seen a video on Facebook or on Facebook Reels. These guys were driving through the field with the truck, and they jumped off the truck and grabbed the pig as they were driving. I was like, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. We can't do that here. I mean, to be honest with you, like our hogs, we're such a heavily wooded area.
Yeah,
you very to actually see a hog in the wild, we probably see one or two a year out of the hundreds that we kill. Like that we actually can just, like drive down the road and be like, oh, damn, there's a pig out in the field. Very seldom will we ever see one. And as far as like being able to drive up on them, man, if they see a vehicle or hear a vehicle coming, they are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we did it. When Roy took us out, he took us to a big ranch, and we just took the spotlight and just cruised through there real slow. And as soon as we seen some pigs, Dad took the first shot, and he dropped his, and they came running up right in front of the truck.
Hell yeah!
And we hammered down and went after them. It was pretty rough. We were hauling some butt.
Now that's one good thing about like the Texas, certain areas, Oklahoma and stuff. There's certain areas in Alabama, it's all the way down at the coast, that have a big population of pigs. Like where we're at, we don't have a lot of hogs. We might hunt all weekend and only find one track. And I mean like hunt. Our dogs have to, we have to turn our dogs loose, and they have to go at least a half a mile or more just to hunt. Not running game, but just hunting game.
Yeah.
And so but every now and then we do get to go to places that have a lot of hogs like that. My God, it's so much fun. Lord have mercy.
Yep. I wanted to go do that again. We went with the dogs, but the dogs, their catch dog went in there and he started baying. He didn't want to grab them.
Yeah.
So we weren't able to get on any hogs. We got on them, but we never were able to stick any. So we're planning on coming down sometime and sticking some hogs.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can do it soon.
Oh yeah, we got all kind of little dogs out here. We got a bunch of shit eaters we can take. You can bring your dogs and put them in there and throw them on a hog.
I don't think right now. I don't think I have a dog that I don't need or that I don't want.
We'll find some smaller pigs. Let them go in there and hang on.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yeah,
and get some smaller ones. I want Hunter to catch one.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
He'll catch him, but he just got to hold on to that tail or castrate him.
Go ahead.
He got thrown in the hog bay. And he went up there to grab this thing by the ear, and his first pig he's ever seen before. that he was allowed to bay, and he grabbed that sucker by the ear, and that thing grabbed him, chucked him across the freaking pen.
Yeah, that's it.
That was the last time.
Them old pigs, they can get rough a little bit. We got caught on one the other day. I had a high terrier, and he's haven't seen anything yet. Well, coons, but we haven't showed him a hog, and we caught a pretty good boar. He's a little over 200 pounds. He came down the side of the mountain, and the dog seen him. Our other dogs, they had a hog caught already on top of the hill. Well, that one was coming down the hill, and that high terrier went straight out there, and he caught that son going by the tail and was just hanging on. I mean, that's the only place he could get a hold of him. And like I said, this dog has never seen the hog, and he just he freaked out, like he tripped out. And then he held it long enough, the bulldog got there, and that hog kept trying to lay down on top of the bulldog. Every time she went up there and tried to grab right on, and I mean, you could see where her teeth hit the side of his head on his ears. And he just kind of laid down on her.
He's just so tall.
And she got up under him.
Get up on his ear before he was whooping her.
She got up under him and then got back up. And then she got a good bite. Mm-hmm. And then the high terrier got a bite on the head, and he got under control. But it was a clusterfuck for a little bit.
Yeah, not anticipated. We was going to a bay, and then this pig just
it wasn't a bay.
Or this catch.
Yeah. They had that son bitch caught.
And then this other pig, here it comes, and was like, oh, this pig's first. Might as well deal with this one.
Yeah, they got to do it. And that's the thing about it. That's the thing I really like about the terriers. That whiskey dog has never seen a hog. And now don't get me wrong, I got a yard full of cur dogs. And I love them. But a lot of the cur dogs, and not everybody's, of course, but like sometimes they might be more hesitant. And it might take them a little bit longer to really get fired up, if they're real young. But most terriers, they just go in there and get to hammering. They get busy. And if they don't, then I'll be honest with you, I don't want that dog.
Yep.
I've had.
Go
ahead.
When we were at the Texas trials, all of our terriers, they went in there, they bayed, and then blackmouth cur that we took down there, she went in there, she bayed a little bit, so we stuck another dog in with her, and then she really got into it.
Yeah.
And that was her first wild hog that she's ever seen.
And going to the bay pens like that, we travel and go to a lot of them. The first times that I ever went, I had dogs that did really good, and I had my best dogs that I've ever owned. They didn't do worth a damn.
Yep.
But it wasn't about the hog. It was about all the stuff that was going on. All the people.
Yeah, and the traveling. And
a lot of people don't take that into consideration. And I've been frustrated with it before, and I've seen people get downright just pissed off. And I'm like, dude, they're like, well, we showed her a pig at home and she did good. I'm like, well, there wasn't 100 people there with music going and everybody hollering and carrying on and drinking and all that stuff, and another 200 dogs on the property and all this other stuff. I said, man, that's a lot to ask from a dog.
Yeah.
I think it is anyway. So if they go in there and they do good, I mean, that's great. If they go in there at all, I think they're doing good. It just seems like it's a lot for them, though.
Yep. There's a lot going on there.
Y'all have some cur dogs?
Confused. Caleb Helmuth, he's been to the Texas trial now.
Okay.
Or was he at the Texas? No, he was at the South Dakota one. He didn't go to the Texas one. But he was up there in South Dakota with us. He's got a blackmouth cur, and nothing but hounds after that. Yeah. It was his first dog that he's ever had for himself. But my brother used to hunt a lot of curs. And since we got into terriers, he got rid of all his curs. And he kind of regrets it.
Yeah.
Still likes that tree dog.
Yeah. We like I said, we got quite a few cur dogs, and I like them. We've only got a couple that'll tree. They probably all would tree, if that's what we started them on, but that's not how we started them. That's not how we hunt them either. We only have a couple that we take and we squirrel hunt and coon hunt a little bit. And we don't really do that much anymore. Not
I don't know. Treeing dogs just ain't my thing. Or tree dogs are not my thing. Yeah. I'd rather just have dogs catch them.
Yeah.
That's how Hunter does. We don't even, when I go squirrel hunting, I normally don't even take a gun. I just go in the woods and hopefully he catches them. If not, oh well.
Yeah, I got you.
He's pretty good at it.
Hell yeah. Now the dog, Hunter, how old is that dog?
He'd be going on 2 years. Coming up no, he'd be a year and a half old now. Mm-hmm. I believe.
Cool.
No. He's 2 years old. Yeah, he's 2 years old. Just turned 2 this last March. Or this March.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So he's fixing to hit shit. He's still got a while. He'll get in that prime. He'll hit that stride. That's something to be badass then, for real.
Yep. I'm hoping he doesn't have what his dad and his grandma got. His dad and grandma both had cancer, some kind of bone cancer.
Oh, man.
And it seems to be genetic. So, and I didn't find that out until after I got him. Joseph didn't even know that that line had that thing going on.
Damn.
So hopefully he don't have it.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, that'd be pretty bad. I didn't know this. Is that common? Like with cancer, is it like genetic? Passed down?
I don't. This here is genetic, but I don't hear too much about cancer in dogs.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was something that was hereditary deal that could be passed down. I don't know a lot about all that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just hoping he didn't got it.
Yeah. So you're talking about building your terrier boxes. What did they consist of? How'd you build them?
I used RV factories. We can take stuff from there as long as they allow it. So they were tearing some walls off of the RVs and throwing them away. And I told my uncle, he told me about it, and I told him I want every wall I can get. And so now I got a whole stack of walls out here off the RVs, and that's what I used to build them.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so when they go in, they have to go in, and then they turn around the corner, and then they sleep on the other side there. I made so the inside's all waterproof, the outside's all waterproof, and they're insulated. And I hate opening a dog box up from the top. So I made so I can open them all up from the side. A lot more work, but
yeah,
I'd rather have it nice, have it the way I want it.
Yeah, if you're going to do all the work, yeah, definitely do it the way you want it. That's for sure.
Yep. And I got 9 more to build for my little brothers, and then probably 7 more for myself.
Good deal. How many dogs do you have total?
Right now I've got 10 dogs.
10.
Yep. Got a Belgian Malinois, got Hunter, my lurcher, and then I got Roscoe, which is a cattle dog staghound cross, and then the rest are terriers. Which actually the one isn't even mine. The one's actually Rob Vowell's. I'm actually raising him up for him and teaching him everything since he gave me a pup out of that litter.
Cool. Now on your lurchers and stuff like that, how do y'all typically do those? I mean, do y'all, I don't know, I'm trying to see how I can word it, I guess. Do y'all have a certain line that y'all run? Do y'all breed those yourselves, or do y'all get them from other people?
We just get them from other people. I don't do a whole lot of breeding.
Okay.
Obviously, if there's some 2 dogs that need to be bred, they need to be bred, and I'll do it. But normally, I just get the dogs from other people. We're now. Jamie Parks down there in Florida. He gave us these pats. He wants us to keep his breed line going. He said he don't know if he's going to be around much longer. So we told him we'll keep it going for him. So we might have some pats that we're going to be breeding here soon. We just got to get a male around now.
I got you.
And he said he's looking for one. Looking for a small one for us.
I got you. There's a.
But,
I was fixing to say, I know where there's a little bitty male patterdale, but he's Brody. I mean, he's little. He looks like a little tank. Like, I mean, he's a bad little dude for real. I'll get some pictures and stuff of him. I'll send you some. You can look at him, just see what you think
all
of
right.
him.
Yeah, I'd
He's
appreciate
probably
that.
12, 13 pounds maybe.
That's about what I run with most of the time.
Yeah.
But this little pet that I have that I want to keep going with, keep that breed line going.
Yeah.
She's the really tiny one.
Yeah, that's and like because I think the other ones that we had, they were all closer to 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were little
We
bigger
got
dogs.
120-pound pet.
Yeah.
Brandon might be crossing her with Cowboy. But
Gotcha.
we'll see. We're not sure because we got a lot of dogs right now. We want to figure out what we got and see what we need, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's about all you can do with it. Just kind of take it one day at a time with it, and just keep working them, keep them out there in the field. So how hard is it to get property to hunt where y'all are at?
It's sometimes impossible. It's nice when they come up to you at the gas station and ask you why you got your dog boxes on the truck.
Yeah.
And they tell you they got a whole farm to hunt for you to hunt. We have a lot of state land around here, and if you run those, you might as well just go somewhere else if they don't have coon. But yeah, it's not too easy to get state land or to get private land around here. It's all taken already.
Yeah. I didn't know if there was a lot of people that were already running up there, or if
a lot of houndsmen run up here, run hounds, walker dogs and curs and whatnot.
Do y'all ever get on any coyotes?
We haven't. We've had Hunter. He chased one time. That was a mistake. We cut him with the two other dogs, and the other two came back, and he kept chasing. And yeah, he's just at that size where I don't trust it, especially when I would only have my two legs to get to him, and I got to make it there before it gets too ugly. But he didn't catch it, luckily. We have a lot of coyotes around here, but we don't get on them a whole lot.
Yeah, I knew there was a good population, or I figured there was, because like those guys I was talking about earlier, Jason and Mike, that's what they originally done, was run coyote hounds. And they were always on them. That
is something my brothers are getting into. My brother Brandon, he's getting into coyote hounds now. I told him if he gets into coyote hounds, I'll build a drop box for the truck, and we'll go catch them with the dogs instead of shooting them as they come up to the roads. Or I told him that'd be way much fun. But we got a couple guys around here that run coyote dogs.
That's pretty cool. I like it. The whole way everything goes with them. You know, like you said, especially where you run them and catch them with the dogs.
Yeah,
that's pretty wild there.
It's gonna be a little challenging around here because of all the woods that we have. Yeah. A lot of times the coyotes don't want to leave the woods, but if we can push them out of the woods, then they're fair game for the dogs. We can get them close enough.
Yep. Yeah, that would be what kind of what do you think would be the best dog to have for that situation there? Lurcher?
A greyhound.
Big greyhound.
Greyhound would be the best. Yep, and that's what I got one out in the kennel now. It's actually Brandon's. He'll be our catch dog if he works out. If not, we'll have to use something else.
Yeah.
And we got the mouths for the muscles.
Cool. I've never hunted with the Malinois. Yeah, you know, I've been around.
They're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Definitely don't get one if you don't like a high energy dog.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they're a lot of fun. I hear they're breeding Mals and Jags over there in Hawaii for hogs.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen quite a few of those guys. They bred them with Jags, with healers, with collies, and I mean they're making good dogs. You know,
Yeah.
From what I've seen, a lot of them are a closer range dog. I think because a lot of those guys walk hunt, so you don't want a dog that's going to get too far out there. But they seem to be pretty damn good though.
If you breed a Jag to a Malinois, you're getting more brains than you need.
Oh, I can imagine. That's something right there. I've had a lot of different crosses, a lot, but never had anything crossed with a Mal.
I've had quite a few people tell me that Mals can't take a bite from a coon, and I think we might have got them out of the right litter then, because these two here, they can take some bites.
Yeah, I was gonna
my
say,
brothers and mine.
I figured they'd be pretty tough like that myself, but I don't know. It goes to show how little I know.
Now, if we do some different kind of hunting where we're just going out and knocking coon out of trees to them, they can take a good 15 or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And then it gets to the point where they can't go no more, so they'll give up.
Yeah.
They'll literally quit on you. You got to quit them before they quit you.
Oh, I got you.
They'll end up laying there in the ditch, just out sleeping. Carry them to the truck because they don't want to go no more.
Got you. Well, and I mean, like I said, there's so many different little things like that with different breeds, and I guess that's why when people hunt for a long time or over the years, they all wind up. Everybody has their favorite breed. It seems like you get people that are like, "Oh man, I like a Walker dog. It's better than everything," or I like a blue heeler because of this or whatever. So, but all of them have their quirks. And I think all of them have their faults. They all have something. So what's been your favorite breed so far?
Actually, it was the lurcher that I have. He's my favorite one so far.
Gotcha.
That his breed, I like the long-legged dogs.
Well, you'd love Harry. I got a dog out here, call him Old Harry. He's a 3/4 Irish Wolfhound and a 1/4 Deerhound. And he's got a thought process to him like this dog thinks. He's very, very fluid in motion. I thought he was going to be a little more, I didn't think he was going to be quite as agile as he is, but like he can move. He does really well. And he can control a pig. Like he can hold a big pig by himself, and I like him. I like these long-legged dogs, but damn, he's so big. He's 130 pounds. He's huge.
I'd love to have a big dog like that, but around here, the only thing I'd be able to use them on is coyotes, and we don't hunt coyotes enough. So I'm like, I would love to have a Slooky too, but I don't go rabbit hunting enough, and Hunter can do that all day long. He catches them all the time.
Yeah.
So there ain't no point in me having a Slooky. Though I'd love to have one.
We were gonna give Nick this little lurcher that we got. I call her a mini lurcher because she's Greyhound, Whippet, Saluki, and Pit. All crossed up.
How tall is that dog?
Like
19
inches,
maybe
18, something like that.
Yeah, she's
not super tall.
18, 19 inches.
Yeah. Be almost like Hunter. He's not tall, but he's I've never even measured how tall he is. I should measure him sometime.
She might be a few inches taller now. I'm trying to remember if I measured it.
No, she's not more than 19. Like she's no bigger than, she's not as big as any of the cur dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty small. Like she's I'm gonna say she's 18.5 to 19 inches. It would be the max. But maybe 30 pounds, if that. And she's, like I said, she's built like a little tank, dude. She's built good. She gets along good in these thickets and the cutovers here. If you got dogs out there and they're just running in the pit, say if the pigs just want to keep running around in a circle or getting one block and they don't want to come out, we put her in there and she's going to stop it. She'll go in there and hit that sumbitch and hang on.
I am looking for something like that for to breed to Hunter.
Really?
Something with brains and something that's hard like that.
she's a good little dog. I'll tell you what I do though. I really will. I'll get you some. I'll get the measurements on her and we'll weigh her, and I'll get you some pictures, some video stuff sent to you because I was talking about breeding her not long ago, and I was like, man, I want to get something off of her, but I didn't want to breed her to Harry. He's so big, I was like,
yeah,
I like this smaller dog, and then I was like, well, what do I breed her to? And if I breed her to anything other than a smaller lurcher style dog like that, I don't know if I'm going to keep that same body style, that body type. And that's what I want.
I see what you're saying.
I want that she looks like a bully whippet almost. When she's in shape, like her back legs are just like little hams, dude. She's a bad little bitch. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
And
I love watching them chase a fast dog.
And we just don't hunt her that much because we don't have all those rough dogs like we've had over the years. And I don't want her just to sit in the yard either.
Mm-hmm.
So we take her out with us as much as we can.
Yeah.
But she definitely might be something you'd be interested in for that. So.
That's the kind of dog I'm looking for her to breed the hunter. I want to get him tested, make sure he ain't gonna keep passing down that cancer.
Yeah.
And if he does have it, I'm not gonna be breeding him to anything.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. That's a tough break there. Maybe he won't. I hope he don't for you.
I hope he doesn't.
Yeah. His mom never had it. His mom's still alive, kicking. She's 8 years old, going strong. He retired her from having puppies, but she still feeds beaver out in the dens and pushes them out.
Gotcha. Did y'all do that very much? Get on the beavers and stuff?
Yeah, I trapped the biggest beaver. This year was the first year I ever trapped by myself. Normally, me and Dad would go out together, we'd trap. But this year I went by myself and trapped the scale said 50 pounds, but there ain't no way that beaver was 50 pounds. It was way over that.
Yeah.
I could tell them scale. Neither one of those scales. I used two different scales, and they were both wrong, both different weights. So I don't know how big that beaver was, but it was a big one.
Yeah.
I don't think Dad was able to trap any this year. He went to a new place and he wasn't able to get nothing. But we still got some beaver trapping going. Season's still open.
Yeah, I was thinking to say, and y'all sell y'all's hides?
This year we kept. Last year we threw them all out because they weren't worth anything.
Yeah, I know.
This year Dad decided he's going to put them all up and keep them around.
Yeah, well, it was the end of the year last year. Greenwald fur. They, I want to say right now, and you can put them up green. Just fold them in half, long ways. You don't even have to flesh them or nothing. Just put them up green, fold them, freeze them, and he's doing like between $20 and $40 depending on size.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah. That's what's and he like. I keep up with that shit. I put it this way.
That would have been worth it last year.
Yes. All right. So there was some last year. It was averaging $34 average all the way across the board. But this year it's dropped a little bit, but he's buying more. Last year they didn't sell as many because, and what'll happen is this year it'll flood the market and it'll go back down next year because Castor came down. Castor went way up.
Using it for felt, correct?
Yeah, it's just for felt. They're buying southern beaver, southeast beaver at $20.
Yeah, because if you're sharing it, it don't matter.
Yeah, and that's what he said. He's like, catch the beavers no matter where you're at because we have the shittiest beavers.
You guys know why the beaver market is so high right now?
Why?
It's because of the Yellowstone. All those cowboy hats on the movie. Everybody's buying the hats off the Yellowstone.
I hope they buy a bunch of them. I'll kill all these beavers.
I hope they keep buying them.
I'm a big cowboy supporter.
I'm going to buy me one of them. I'll make me a beaver hat. That's what I do.
Yep.
So, but no, that's pretty cool. Y'all, you ever catching beavers with the dogs? You can tell us.
No. If that happens, you're not going home with that dog. Well, you might, but he's going to be stitched up pretty good.
Yes. There's a guy.
Staples and stitches.
There's a guy that we know, and it's been years ago. He caught this river otter. and put it in a live trap. And he was like, I'm fixing to test these young dogs today. I said, Lord, don't do that. Well, he did. And the dog did live, but it was messed up. Dude, that river otter demolished that jag. I mean, demolished him. It was the wildest shit I've ever seen.
We got one mounted in that we trapped. I chased one through a field. I was going to catch the sucker. That's the one thing I haven't caught yet. I've caught beaver barehanded. I've caught everything else barehanded, but I haven't caught an otter. So I wanted to catch this sucker. So I chased it through the field, and that sucker could run.
Hell yeah.
But, yeah, I didn't catch him.
That's pretty wild. So after a while, I'll look and see if I can find the link to that thing about the guy who's buying the beaver hides. Because I think he's in Illinois. Ain't that where Green Wolfer is?
Oh, that wouldn't be a far haul for us.
Which he travels and he'll buy at certain areas.
Oh, okay.
I'll get the thing and send it to you, and you can find out the route that he takes, because he's got some places he travels to. I know he goes like to South Dakota, Iowa, and I know he hits the East Coast, like North Carolina, Virginia. I think somewhere in New York. You know, they travel all over. I'll get some info on that.
We're not getting no $20 for a beaver. I think beaver is, I can't remember what our fur buyer said. He said something about it's up there, I think $12 for a good one.
Yeah.
I think. I might be wrong.
$10 is going to be for a small or one of the lower end. Now, that was as of, say, 2 weeks ago was the last time that maybe 3 weeks at the most. It's been no longer than that since I've checked prices. So
it could have changed a little bit.
Yeah, it could have changed, but like I said, he was adamant on people just keep on because he's going to buy all the beaver he can get.
Sweet.
So,
I'll have to tell Dad that. We'll have to go trap more beaver.
Hell yeah. And I'm one of those, I encourage it regardless, but like, especially if you can make a little bit of money at it. And if I'd have known last year that they were going to push $40, I promise you, there wouldn't be a beaver safe nowhere around here.
Yep.
Because, I mean, it's a lot of work. You know, there's a lot of folks that think, well, you just go out there and trap it, come home and you shake it, and the hide falls off. Oh, shit, bro. Look, man, you come home with 15 coon, couple of possums, a bobcat or a fox, couple of coyotes. Your ass is busy. You are busy.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's a damn
We had 30 last weekend. We had 37 coon to skin. We throw all the possums out this time of year because their hide just falls off, or their hair falls right off the hide. But yeah, we had 37 of them. I did 21, and then we had a meeting for the trial, so I couldn't finish skinning the rest of them. So when Dad got home, he ended up skinning them. He just got done tonight.
Oh, sorry. What now?
No, you're good. The next trial will be Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
I'm hoping you guys can make it up here.
I would love to. The only one I haven't been to is the South Dakota trial. I mean,
that's a fun one.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go out there, and I used to be real heavy into the terriers. I mean, like that's all I had a lot of them. We'd go to Texas. I'd go out there to Texas, and I would have 30 head on a stringer. I mean, there was a lot of times where I guess like probably from 2015, 2016 in that area till about 2019. Like I've got totes of all the plaques and trophies and stuff. I was just like, look, don't give me no more. I just want to run the dog. You know what I mean? Because I'm not doing it for that. I'm like, because there's people that travel a lot further than I do, and they've never won a trophy. Well, hell, let them win a trophy. I'm not saying that my dogs are that good, by no means, but it's for the main thing is hog baying. Well, that's what I do every day. My dogs should do that. If they don't, they need kicked in the ass. But we have a good time though, man. I have never went and not had a good time. That's for damn sure.
Yep, that's how it is for me. I didn't have a Jag when I first started going to the trials, and just now got mine not too long ago.
Yeah.
He's a smart one. I'm gonna enjoy. He's almost like Hunter. Every time I leave the truck, it doesn't matter if somebody else is in the truck or not. That dog is screaming because he wants to get out.
Yeah. You ready to go?
He wants to go with me. Yep.
Hell yeah. Well, man,
And if I'm not,
go ahead.
go ahead. Oh, if I'm not around Hunter, he'll just sleep in my room all day long. He won't come out to use the bathroom, nothing. And Mom will try to get him to go out a couple times. And he won't do it. And as soon as I get home and he hears my truck, or if he doesn't hear my truck and he hears my voice in the kitchen or living room, he'll start screaming. He wants to come out, and then he gets all excited.
Hell yeah.
It's a lot of fun coming home to a dog like that.
Oh yes, without a doubt. It's one of those. It makes you. It's fulfilling, you know.
Yes, yes, it is.
I've got a couple of dogs I come home to, and I'm like, oh my God, I hope maybe they'll be gone. You know, maybe somebody will kidnap them. And them poor dogs are thinking, I hope that son of a bitch wrecks today and don't make it home. You know, they don't like me either. But let me tell you, I can't talk a bunch of trash about them because they do hunt well and they work good for us. They're not the best in the world, but I like them.
Yep, I've got a couple like that too.
You know. And we've got a few young dogs right now that I really feel are going to be the best that I've ever had. And so that means that we're on the right track, you know, in our breeding program. But at the same time, there was a lot of years I never really bred anything. I kind of wish I had, but it took me 5 years to get a breeding off of my Oscar dog. And I actually had to give him back to Mr. Kiefer and send the female with him. I tried for 4 straight years to breed that dog, and them some bitches would not breed. She came in heat. He waited X amount of days, walked out there. They hung up in 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, what in the hell? But I'm not a dog. I'm not a breeder. You know, I just,
yep.
I like having dogs in the woods and hunting them.
Yep. That's how I am.
Yeah.
Brandon, he likes to do quite a bit of breeding.
Okay.
He actually bred Cowboy to a mountain cur.
Yeah.
No, blackmouth cur.
Oh,
bred her to a blackmouth cur, and those pups are hard. Those are some good pups. But I tell you what, it ain't easy breeding a small dog to a big dog. No. Not at all. We had to use the couch.
Yeah. We've got a dog out there right now breeding an Airedale, and he's a good bit smaller. And that poor guy, his hips have got to hurt. He's been just wearing it out.
Yep.
And I was like, dude, I mean, there ain't a whole lot I can do to help him. And, you know, so it's like, do I get him a little step stool or what, you know? And I can remember, I'm going to tell this illicit story. Okay. And this is 100%. I was a kid, was on this huge farm in Arkansas, big rice farm. I mean, huge, 70,000 acres. Well, we ran a lot of rabbit dogs, a bunch of beagles. And my dad, he had the most diverse pack of dogs you ever seen. Him and my uncle, they had registered beagles. Well, Dad had a Cocker Spaniel. And then my sister had a little wiener dog. So this Cocker Spaniel comes in heat. My dad decides that the wiener dog is going to breed the Cocker Spaniel.
Oh, my word.
So he's literally, you know, hold the Cocker Spaniel down. It's like, you know, like, take it, bitch, take it. And the little wiener dog is stroking. I mean, like he is pumping. I mean, he looks like Nick Fox on Saturday night with taking them black rhino pills. I mean, that dude is pumping. So this is the funniest shit ever. I remember Dad told me, he's like, go in there and get me a beer. So, of course, you know, good old redneck Dad, I run around there, I get him a beer, I come back. And the Cocker Spaniel is standing with her little nub tail kicked to the side. And he has his hand out, and this little wiener dog's back legs are sitting on, or back feet are in his palm of his hand. He's drinking a cold beer, his hands laid across his knee, and that wiener dog standing in his hand and just wearing it out. And he finally got hung up, and the poor little bastard's front feet was on the ground, and she was drugging him all around the yard. And he told me, he said, I was like, Dad, what are they doing? I think I was like 8 or 10. So I was young. He said, that's where babies come from. And that's how I learned about the birds and the bees. I was like, holy shit. And she had one puppy. The dog had one puppy that lived. And believe it or not, that puppy wound up running rabbits better than any of the beagles we had. Like, this was a phenomenal dog. It was a short-haired dog, the same height as a Cocker Spaniel, but as long as a wiener dog. I'm serious.
The Extendo Cocker Spaniel.
Yeah, it was a long cock. Like, it was a long cock.
That had to be funny looking.
Oh, it was, dude, like, you have no idea. It was wild.
I don't think I've ever heard you tell me that story. So.
Have I not?
No, I've never heard that story.
I thought I told you the night when I was doing the AI, the first time I ever tried to do the AI when I was jerking the dog off.
No, I think you told me a different dog breeding story.
Oh, I got a bunch of them.
Yeah, I know.
I got a bunch of them. I've been around some damn pound puppies.
I'm good with that one.
Yeah,
that one was
I've seen some weird shit in my day, boys. I'm telling you now. Yeah.
Trauma. Dude.
Oh, I'd pay to see that. That'd be funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Like my dad done some of the craziest shit you've ever seen, and I look back on it now, and I was like, he had no idea what he was doing, but he was just living life.
He just didn't care.
He just like, hey, they didn't have podcasts, they didn't have books, they didn't have social media. Hell, we didn't even have a phone. You know, like we were in the middle of nothing, and you literally went outside. And my mom, she would take a .22 rifle and she would shoot 2 times for Aunt Helen to come over there and pick her up. That's how they yeah, I'm dead serious. That's how they could
do it.
Well, it was just flat, wide open rice fields. And I mean, you could go outside and holler, but you know, I was like, I guess .22 ammo was cheap back then. I don't know. That's the way it happened.
Outside and shoot 2 times.
I bet it was a lot cheaper than it was now.
Oh, hell yeah. I couldn't imagine now. Like if we had the prices like it is now back then, nobody would have had them.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
if we'd have those prices now, everybody would have them.
Yeah, oh yeah, without a doubt. I remember like whole bricks.
I don't even own a .22.
A whole brick of .22 ammo back then, and I mean 1,000 round brick, not the little 500 rounds, but the 1,000 round actual brick was $9.
Oh my word!
Yeah, and when it hit $10.50, I seen my dad lose his shit in the Sportsman Center one day. This is highway robbery. What kind of bullshit's going on? Oh, just freaking out. And I was like, okay, I didn't realize it, but I see it now that I'm older. I'm like, okay, I understand. You know,
I've seen a guy lose his shit in the store one time over ammo.
Yeah, I have. I've had a absolute meltdown one day. It was Christmas.
Over some it was Black Friday shopping.
Yeah, it was Black Friday.
You told the manager, you said, well, if all them lazy motherfuckers would go to work instead of standing in line for some free stuff, they could afford what the hell they wanted.
And there was a line of 150, like they were fighting. A lady had got stabbed the same day.
What?
Yeah, she got stabbed at Walmart because they were doing those. It was some kind of like a tablet or
That's crazy.
A laptop or some shit.
I didn't know that.
Or TV. It was really cheap. And I was like, and they were in the sporting goods section. This has been years and years ago. I'm like, I just want to look down this aisle. Well, we can't. Well, they're trying to get a TV. I was like, well, the TV's in electronics. Why are they standing over here? And it went from that to I was leaving very briskly. And my wife and everybody was like, what are you doing? I was like, we got to go. The cops are coming. We got to leave now. And so that, I had to make my exit pretty quick. Because, like I said.
Well, I don't go shopping. I make sure if I need something, I get it the day before.
Yeah, I didn't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my wife, she was like, well, I was wondering why you were going on Black Friday. I was like, it's just Friday.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I didn't know people
just
really did this shit. She was like, oh, no. And now Black Friday starts on Monday. It goes the whole week, apparently.
I won't even go to town.
Yeah, it
we
goes a
stay in
lot
the
longer
woods.
now.
Yeah.
Bro, we stay in the woods. Like, if it's November, I'm not leaving the woods. That's where I stay at.
The closest we get to going to town is where I live, and it's literally one red lot.
Yep.
Very small town.
A little store.
Yeah, there's a little store there.
And a dollar store. There's Dollar General.
Yeah, there's Dollar General. There's a Dollar General. Like, I could probably throw a baseball and hit the Dollar General from my house. It's like 3 blocks.
Pretty close. So.
I could crow hop it real hard and chunk it.
Hell yeah. Well, damn, folks. Well, you got any good hunting stories or anything else you want to talk about on here?
I can tell you about the second fox that we got.
Yeah,
with the little Patterdale.
Yeah, tell us something about it.
This just happened the other weekend. We were out spotting one night, and for skunks, because we like to go out and spot for skunks, and Dad puts those up too. So we were out spotting for skunks, and as we were going down the road, we seen there was a fox sitting by a hole, and watched him go down. I ran out there to see how the setup was, wide open field, and I was like, well, I guess we'll come back here tomorrow. And Brandon actually wasn't with me at the time, so I like, well, I'll just give him a call tomorrow or tonight yet and let him know we'll be back over there. So I called him, told him, hey, we're going over there tomorrow morning. It's early because Jimmy wants to go home. So we didn't end up making it out there until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Finally, we decided to just go. It was 35-mile-an-hour winds and no snow. I mean, it was snow, but it wasn't snowing. Just getting blown around. Well, it was drifts all over the place, and we were out there in the middle of the field digging, and little Patterdale had that thing bayed for like 2 minutes. Well, this thing tried to take off on her and flush, and she had turned around, and somehow the way it looked, on the fox, she had a hold of the back leg. And so while we were standing there digging this hole, Hunter, he was sleeping. I got real hot, had too many layers on, so I threw my coat down. Hunter, he went in there and slept. He fell asleep in my coat. He's not hard when it comes to cold weather. But as we were digging, we just busted through, and this sucker come bolting out. And I yelled at Hunter and my Mal, and they both took off after that sucker, and they ended up catching him. He wasn't moving like they normally do, but they actually were able to catch him finally.
Oh, that's cool.
But
they didn't get hurt or nothing, did they?
Do what now?
I said, didn't none of them get hurt or anything, did they?
The Furious and Hunter did not, but Sweet, she got chewed up pretty good down there.
Down in there.
Normally she'll bay, but if I don't have her out for so long, she'll get in there and she'll hit hard and she'll come out pretty bad. And so I got to put her up for a little bit. She's actually put up now. Her, Hunter, Gunner, and some of Brandon's dogs, they're all put up right now because next weekend we're headed out to Utah to go hunt with the mink band for a couple days.
Yeah, that's pretty cool there. I
could tell you guys, I told you guys I don't take any guns out, right?
Yeah.
So when Brandon goes with me, he's used to taking a gun. Well, he was in my truck. I don't have a gun in there. So when we hit the woods, we were walking through the woods. Sophie Pierce was with us at the time, and we found it was really cold that night, snowing, and we ended up finding a possum, and we kept going, and dogs were acting weird around this hole, and Hunter and Cowboy, they were sniffing up this other tree. So I look up in the tree. Well, there's no branches all the way up this tree, but there's a coon up there, and there's a crack through the middle of this tree all the way up. So I was like, well, screw it. I've done it many of times. And so I put my hands in the crack and put my feet it wedged my feet in there. And I climbed up this tree, got about 20 feet, and went to step on this knot. My foot slipped out from underneath me and lost my footing, and down I went. I was, couldn't go, I still went to work Monday. That was Saturday night. I ended up going to work Monday, but I ended up walking in there with crutches. By the time I left, it was loosened up enough I was able to walk on a little bit. But there for a little while, I thought I fractured my hip.
Yeah, I bet that.
Landed perfectly on a branch.
Damn. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
That would definitely
Yeah.
suck.
No bueno.
So
Well, that's how we do it around here. We'll just climb the trees and kick them out.
we had some guys come in one time from South Dakota.
Yeah.
And that's what I told them. I was like, they had, man, all kind of weapons and all kind of stuff. I was like, we don't even use guns. They're like, what? I was like, oh man. I was like, I don't allow guns. And so we're going through there, and we didn't get to go hunt that day. They came to hog hunt. I was like, y'all guys want to go free cast tonight? And they were like, what do you mean? I was like, we're just going to go turn these terriers loose and see what we can't drag up. And they had a possum up a tree right off the bat. And I told him, I was messing with the other guy. I was like, look, so we're going to tell him to climb up there and throw it out. He was like, it ain't going to bite him or nothing. I was like, no. I said, it ain't going to bite him. I said, we'll rev him up, make him think it will, So he goes to climb up that tree, and the branch that the possum's on, instead of like climbing up above the branch or climbing up to the branch on top of it, he's like hanging upside down like a sloth and kind of shimmying out on the branch, right? So he's on the bottom side of the branch and the possum's on the top side. And he goes to start bouncing and shaking it. Well, the possum falls out. The branch breaks and he flat backs, and it's over a pond. So he flat backs right in the water. Water's only 6 inches deep. Wow. Right in that water. That some bitch, he got up and he couldn't breathe. He was huffing and puffing. I laughed my ass off. And I was like, dude, we could have just took a stick and knocked him out. Like it was only like 10 foot high. He was like, well, I was just trying to do what y'all told me. You remember that?
I know I wasn't there.
I thought you were with us. I know it was me and Joe.
Yeah. That was during the weekday.
Because I had Rubble and I can't remember what all dogs I had. Anyway, it was a good time though, just doing shit like that.
Yep.
I think that's something that the world is lacking, is guys like that, young guys. Now they're, like you said, there's a lot of them. I don't know many 15 to, or say 13 to 18-year-old young guys or young men, whatever, or boys, whatever, that are going to try to climb a tree and throw a coon out. Most of them, most of them ain't even going to be out freaking hunting.
Yep.
Much less
I try
climbing
to
a
get
tree.
everybody I can out in the woods.
Yeah.
Anybody. A lot of times they don't end up showing up, but it is what it is.
But you done your part.
Yep.
And that's all you can do, man. That's all you can do is your part. You can't live
and
it
that's
for nobody
another reason
else.
we started these dog trials, is to get more people to get in it.
Yeah.
At least in our area, we like to invite people. Even if they don't even have a dog or they're city people, I'll invite them. Say, come see how it is. See what we do. My group leader there at work, he's a city boy, and I tried to get him to come many of times, and that guy just he can't do it to kill an animal.
Really?
And he's always telling me, I'm going to kill you. And I'm just like, you can't kill fur. Quiet down.
Yeah. It's like, you can't kill a coon, so you're not going to kill me. So it's all right.
Yeah, exactly. So I just keep going.
Hell yeah. So when are you, I was trying to say what all that, got something keeps popping up here. So you got the next trials are going to be in Michigan?
Yeah, they'll be in Michigan at my mom and dad's this year.
Okay. I thought so.
We're probably going to end up having to get a bigger property, depending on if we grow out of this one or not by this year. It was pretty big last year, and for the first year, it was a pretty decent trial. We're hoping this next year is going to be better and bigger. That's the goal anyhow.
Gotcha. Well, that'll damn sure work. We'll pass the word around and, let all the people that listen, at least let them know if they're interested in it, they can come hang out, check it out. If they have terriers, is it open to all terriers?
Yeah, all terriers it's
Okay.
open to any terriers. We're gonna I think this year we're gonna limit the long-legged dogs a little bit. We're not sure what we want to do yet. We're obviously gonna have stuff for them to do and prizes for them to win, but they're not gonna be with the Jack Russells and Patterdales and stuff. They're not gonna basically be going up against them as much.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have some coon and two coon and two groundhog mounts that a lot of people I think they're gonna like them. Big Buck Down Taxidermy. Me and my dad are in it. We're gonna be sponsoring the trials with that. We're gonna donate two coon and two groundhogs. Make them look a little funny when they're sitting there.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
We'll probably end up having them on Facebook before the trials.
Yeah, that'd be pretty slick there. So, and if people want to get in touch with you, who do they need to talk to about the trials? You and your brother?
Me and brother Nick, because Nick is president. I'm under the vice president. Brandon's vice president.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, just one of us three.
10-4. Well, we'll make sure to let everybody know and try to get a good turnout. Hopefully, we can get enough people to come out there that you'll run out of room. Is what I hope.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah,
and I have to go buy myself a property and get out of the house.
Hey, and it can be done. I promise you. It's one of those things. It's usually the second or third year. I've noticed that in a lot of events, it'll almost hit a stalemate or even go down some. And then the following years when it really starts hitting its stride.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
Yeah, it really does. I've done a lot of things in life like that, and it seems like it gets worse before it gets better, I guess you'd say.
Yep.
I hope that it doesn't. But at the same time,
if it does,
just don't get discouraged.
You got more time.
That's right.
Yeah. If it does, we'll still have more time to, talk to the people that are there and get to know them better.
Just make the best of it. Exactly.
Yeah. Have fun, watch some dogs work, and enjoy the time.
We done that at the Bay in Oklahoma. Not this one, not the past one that we had, but the one before. Man, there wasn't many people there. And I'll be honest, we had one of the best times we've ever had because it was more personal,
Yep.
And then this last
in South Dakota, first year we were up there, it was a pretty small trial. It wasn't the smallest trial, but it was pretty small. And it was nice going up there. But then they had their biggest trial last year since we already knew a lot of them people. Because the first time we went, we didn't know anybody there. Then the second time we went, we knew people and we were able to meet more people. It's a lot of fun up there.
Yeah.
In South Dakota. I enjoy going to these trials.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed it. It's always been fun. And like you said, you get to meet a lot of people, have a lot of contacts, and in the dog world, having a network like that can make life a lot easier.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it. So, well, man, we appreciate you calling, talking with us tonight, taking time out of your life to do this. Know everybody's busy. Everybody has to work and do those things.
Yep.
I think we got a pretty good show in there, pretty good episode. You got anything that you would like to add?
Not really.
Do you want to cuss somebody out or talk bad about them? You can. We can talk. Hey, we want to talk about Nick.
We can talk about Nick.
We talk about Nick, and then we put them overalls on, look at them titties. I love Nick. Hey, Nick knows it too. He better know it. I know it. He knows I love it.
Yep.
Now, and that's what I say, man. It's so much fun. People don't know what they're missing coming out to these terrier trials and these events. Hell, if nothing else, just come out and support it.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Well, man, that'll work. Appreciate it. On that note, if y'all want to come hunt, come on. The door's open.
Yeah. I'm probably going to be going down there sometime. We'll probably hit you up.
Yeah. I know Nick's been talking about it too. Y'all get together and come on. We'll have us a good damn time.
Yeah. All righty.
All right, brother.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much, man.
Yep.
All right. Have a good night.
Well,
see you.
Yep. See ya.
All righty. Well, there's another one for you. any terrier trials you can go to, I don't care where they're at or who's putting them on, go to them. They're fun. And I mean, like most of them now, used to, a lot of them were really straight breed specific, but a lot of them now, they welcome all terriers. And so, like, if you got a little Jack Russell or a Yorkie, hey, don't sleep on those little dogs like that. I promise you. I've had Yorkies that have put a lot of dogs to shame. I mean, for real. So, but anyway, we appreciate y'all listening. Thank you for taking time out of your life to listen to us talk about all this stuff that we talk about. Y'all make sure to follow us on social media and do all the same things that we tell you in every episode. And I'm going to keep telling you, y'all got to listen. I had a guy message me last night. He said, you know what? He said, you remind me of my dad when you're talking. So that means y'all got to listen and do what I'm telling you. Listen. Do it. I'm not playing because I said so. Hey, we love y'all. Until the next one, I'll see you.
Thank you. Hope you enjoyed that episode. If there's anything or anyone you'd like to hear on the podcast, or if you'd like to come hunt with us, don't hesitate to contact us at dixiedoggers01@gmail.com.